Hello, my name is Tom Sillis. I'm the CEO of Wecro.com. It's actually Wecro Internet Inc., which operates the website Wecro.com. Wecro is a platform for all services, from home services, personal services, to several business services like digital marketing, etc. Let's go through each sector. Home services would include plumbing, electrical, handyman, lawn care, house cleaning, and probably there's a bunch of others. Personal care would include food delivery, your ride share, laundry, tutoring, photography, DJs, wedding services, elder care, babysitting, and room rentals, just for a few of those. Then business services would include digital marketing, business process outsourcing. We would have temporary help, freelancing, marketing, payroll, and accounting services. And probably is a few more. Now let's go. Now here's what's going on. Over 100 companies in the services industry right now are providing, each one provides one or more services, each having its, each company having to maintain its own infrastructure, spend huge amounts of money on marketing, advertising, and payroll. As a result, there's a lot of duplication of service. So, and many of these companies, after 5 years, after launch, go out of business, and the investors lose a lot of money on them. Now, a few like Uber are thriving, but look how long it took them to turn a profit and go public. So as a result, I consider it to be a losing proposition. And just let's look back at 50 years ago when you had the railroad industry. You had like 50 or so railroads. You had, companies in Connecticut, and all over the country. There was like 50 or so railroads. They consolidated, later, 20 years later, into five or less, like Amtrak, CX. You have in Norfolk Southern. Those are the ones that I know off the top of my head. The auto industry went through the same thing. Remember GM? What's now GM was formerly Cadillac. You had Oldsmobile, you had Chevy, you had Pontiac, and there was a few others that consolidated into GM. And other companies have had the same thing. Chrysler had other brands that they consolidated, and so forth. Now let's look at the retail industry. Over 50% of retail stores have pretty much been obliterated, and now, thanks to Amazon, people shop on Amazon. So nothing stays the same, and services is the next industry to consolidate. In about back in the old days, 20 years ago, you had the yellow pages. That's where most service providers would advertise. They take a full page ad for $5,000 a month in their local area, like Marietta, Georgia, Hartford, Connecticut. You'd be in the yellow page. You pay astronomical rates. Even New Britain, Connecticut, which had 100,000 people, it was a lot of money. But they dominated whoever was there on page one. They dominated that. Same thing with pizza houses. The same thing. They would dominate the city. And a lot of these smaller guys were scrambling to find where to advertise. They'd advertise with flyers. They'd be word of mouth. They would have smaller ads on quarter page ads, and they would still do business, but not as much as page one. Obviously, the big guys. There was always one guy that would dominate each city. Well, now fast forward to Google and today's market, it's very confusing. You have all these apps out there. Yeah, some of them build brands, and some are successful, like Uber and Airbnb, has dominated that space. But what's going to happen eventually, as you all know, it's all going to consolidate. People are tired of having one app for this, another app for that. By the time you're done, everybody wants you to download their app. That's insane. Who's going to do that? So what's happened, unfortunately, a lot of these, people that were plumbers, electricians, they've retired. Some of them were retired. They've given up on Google. Google's a nightmare to advertise on. It's like Russian roulette. You're banking on getting, on page one of Google. It's, and you're worried about the convoluted algorithms that Google has. That's insane. How can you run a business like that? By consolidating all services under one feather, which Wecro is doing, it solves that problem for both consumers and service providers. Wecro can also cross-sell, each vertical. For example, you come in through our plumbing page, our food delivery page. Basically, we can cross-sell those customers, and that's how we do it. We basically we sell to the references that the providers have, and we also sell to the customers of the pizza and food delivery clients. We invite you. Here's the final. Here in summary, we invite you to join us. In investing and making this happen, and enjoy the fruits of our labor with potentially excellent returns on your investment. Please review our pitch deck and business plan for more information, and we thank you very much. Have a great day.